Hi Taurus, welcome to your December 2019 Taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your support throughout 2019. For those of you that have been with me from before that and my hardcore ride or dies, you know who you are. I just want to say a heartfelt thank you so much for all of your support over this last year. It has meant the absolute world for me that people have been on this journey with me and that you guys have allowed me to be a part of your journey. I'm super grateful, and I feel absolutely amazing having been a part of all of your journeys and having you be a part of mine. If you would like to book a personal reading, if you would like to get your personal year ahead, it will be a video like the ones that I've already got up. If you haven't seen your 2020 Taroscope, check it out. You can get your quarter calendar now. They are for sale. They are up and out there if you want to get your copy. It's a daily tarot card pull, full moon, new moon astrology, the astrology of the conjunction, all of that good stuff. Finally as well, if you want to get a seat on the winter solstice, there are still some available at the time that I post this video. With that said, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So yeah, just a massive thank you for everything so far, guys. It's been absolutely wonderful. Let's check it out. So remember, you're not just closing out the month, you're closing out the year. You're not just closing out the year, you're closing out the decade. Finish strong, begin even stronger. All right, so your first card out, your actions and interactions with the world at large, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is all about that determined energy that you Taurians have. And this really does feel for me like you are reaching for something big. It's like you've already got the energy there behind you, and your actions are saying this sees you very determined. It sees you really determined. You've already got your goal in mind. You've already fixated yourself on what it is that you want to achieve, and it's kind of like it's almost like you're fast tracking your results because you're standing in that energy. And you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to see this into completion. I'm going to bring this into reality. I'm going to make this thing that I want, that I've created, manifest. I'm bringing it into the world. And the fact that you've got this as your actions and interactions with the world at large, this represents your physical body. For a lot of you, you've already started. You're already there on this energy. And it's kind of like you're saying to yourself, you know what, I already see that. I already know that that's going to manifest. So I'm going to start now. For a lot of you, this is being present in your physical body. For some of you, on a very mundane level, check out your car, have a look at your car. If the tires need replacing, do it. If the brakes need replacing, do it. Whatever it is, do it now so that it doesn't become an issue later on. To bring it back to this though, in terms of your physical body, this really could be a month where you start doing exercise. It could be a month where you start saying to yourself, you know what, aside from everything else that I've got going on, I want to be more focused on my physical health. I want to be more focused on my physical body. So it's kind of like you're starting now so that you don't have to kind of do the whole new year, new me sort of thing, right? And this is the best way to do it, because if you're already in the swing by the time January comes, you don't have to get ready. You know, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, as the saying goes. I love that one. It's a bit cliche, but I love it anyway. I don't care. I'm full of cliches. I love them. I absolutely love them. Yeah, as they say, there's no school like the old school. And at the end of the day, the reason those cliches and little sayings and stuff have survived this long is because they're true. All right, if it does what it says on the tin, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Both, there's two there for you. All right, so your money and materials, you've got the Knight of Swords. So straight away we see you've got two knights out. Knights are always about movement. Whenever you see knight energy, it's about wanting that forward progression. It's about wanting to do something. This is about dynamic energy that is moving, that is, it wants freedom, it wants liberation. It's about whatever ideas you have trying to come into actuality, and it represents represents the driving force that you have within you to get stuff done. Your money and materials with the Knight of Swords, for a lot of you, you could be looking at your paperwork this month. You could be really streamlining your finances this month. Now, interestingly enough, I feel like for those of you that celebrate the holidays, it's almost like a lot of you have already done. So by the time we get to December, you're kind of sat with your feet up like, you know what, I was finished months ago, which is brilliant. It feels for me like a lot of you are ahead of the curve when it comes to your paperwork. For some of you, if you do have legal matters, financial issues and all the rest of it shaping up over the course of December, I will say this to you. With the Knight of Swords, don't rush in. Let it come to you, all right? This is about doing things slowly and methodically, because the Knight of Swords is a card of sometimes it's fast or aggressive communication, and sometimes it is a warning to slow things down. So when it comes to your money, when it comes to materials, especially if you have anything going on of paperwork, legal documentation, all of that stuff, take your time with it, right? Don't rush it. Just because I kind of feel like all of the facts will come to light. In terms of your money, in terms of your own money, Knight of Swords basically says that whatever ideas you have, you are ready to go. You're like ready to move. It's kind of like you're saying to yourself, you know what, well, I've had the idea, I'm not going to sit on it. I'm not going to sit back and wait. I'm not just going to, have these things knocking around in my brain. I want to start moving on them, which is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's a fantastic use of your energy. When it comes to your physical health, the only thing that I will say to you is this month you could find that you're physically, you'll be fine. Financially even, you'll be fine. It does feel like though, mentally, you could be really, really pushed in many, many different directions. And so for that reason, find moments where you can rest. Find moments where you can switch off. Find moments where you can kind of take an hour and bring it down to ground, all right? Because night energy, and especially the Knight of Swords, this is all about the noggin, and sometimes it can, it can see you being fractious. So keep that in mind, because you want to look after your nervous system, all right? Your communications with the world at large, you've got the King of Cups, and this really does feel for me like you're on top of how you feel. You're really on top of how you feel, and it may very well be, and I know a lot of you will probably laugh at this, but it may very well be that over the course of December, you are the calm in the storm. You are the person that's Taurus is slow and steady anyway, but it might be that whatever's going on around you, no matter how fractious your thoughts are, and this is why I say to you as well, what you present to other people and the calming influence that you bring could have a toll on you. It could mean that inside, your mind is going mental, like, so it's really important that same calm, peace, that same support that you give to other people of helping them and assisting them. And it really does look like people are leaning on you this month, which is great for Taurians because you like that energy, you like to be supportive. But sometimes, it's wise to know when you can't do it. All right. So if there is a moment or a day where you're just kind of like, oh, you know what, I can't do this at the moment. Take that moment. That is your body. That's your soul. In fact, it will probably be your mind saying to you, I need a rest. But you're definitely on top of your feelings, and you are the calming influence in the room. You are the person that is speaking the sense. And it's like whatever you're saying is coming from the heart, King of Cups. But it's like the way that you're saying it is very Taurian. This is going to be a really good energy for you. The communications look really, really good this month. It does look like you're communicating with a water sign in some way, shape or form. Pisces, Scorpio or Cancer. Very likely to be a male because it is the King of Cups. But it doesn't have to be, but very likely. And it really does feel for me like some of you might even have some sort of spirit communication this month. It may very well come through dreams. It's probably not going to be, like face to face. Don't panic. Not all of you are going to see apparitions and stuff. Some of this will probably be in your dreamscape. Some of it will be in your feelings. Some of it will just be knowing that your people are proud of you and hearing those words spoken aloud. If you've waited for some of you a very long time to hear someone just say, you know what, I might not get it, but I'm proud, you will hear that this month. All right. So finally, in your personal relationships, you have the Chariot card, right? In your heart and half. This is beautiful. So this person is very likely to be a Cancerian, very likely to be a Cancerian male, or possibly a single Cancerian female. This is going to be somebody that actually says the words, I am super proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of what you've done, what you've achieved, how far you've come, whatever it is, right? And the fact that this falls in your personal relationships, for those of you that are partnered, this is you and your partner triumphing. This is about you winning something together. It's about you beating something together. It's kind of like one of those moments where it's like, you know, yes, we had a difficult time and there were moments that we wanted to murder each other, but we stuck through it together. And on the other side of it, we've won. We've come through to that victory together. The Chariot, right? Victory, success. For those of you that are single, get out there. Get out there, mingle, schmooze, booze, cruise, do all of the above. You've got to get out there, speak to people, connect with people. The Chariot card is a very fast card. It's also a very connective sort of card. It sees you, but it could be, because obviously it is the holiday season, it could just be a lot of very fast cars, that as well. It could, actually, because the Chariot represents a mode of transport at its base level. It could just be a very fast month where the invites are, fast and thick, as they say, or thick and fast. And it could be that some of you are aligning with a Cancerian. And the Cancerian energy is good for Taurus because it's water and earth, so it's complementary elements, which is beautiful. I really love this for you. It looks like you're going to have a brilliant December. So let's have a look. Your first week of the month. You've got the Sun card, right underneath that Knight of Pentacles. Whatever diets, regimes, health routines, running, jogging, weights, all of that is blessed. This is a really good time for it to happen for you. For those of you that are like I said, whatever your ideas are, this is it just sees you really determined to succeed. And the Sun card says yes, whatever it is that you've been working on, whatever it is that you're ready to start pushing, you are going to do it. It stands every chance of success. So get on it, right? Get going with it. Your second week of the month is the Tower card, right underneath that Knight of Swords. You got to stick it out. So the second week of the month might get a bit rocky. It might be at that moment where you kind of look at things and you get a bit sort of, like I said. And interestingly enough, your Tower card is Uranus. Uranus is your nervous system. So remember what I said, that's probably where you're going to be feeling a lot of this the most. It's really important that you try to find ways to bring the thoughts in line, all right? Because that's going to be the one place that you'll be vulnerable. The mind will be racing 10 to a dozen, whereas everything else will be heading in the right direction. The other thing is as well, because it is under that Knight of Swords, as I said, when it comes to your finances, especially for those of you that are dealing with anything legal, don't get ahead of yourself, and more importantly, don't stress about it. All right, this is get all your paperwork in line so that when the time comes, you can present everything as you need to. As a rule, your money and your materials don't actually look that bad. You could have something surprising come in. It might be a surprise opportunity. It may be, especially if you've got your own business, it might be some last minute business that comes in. Because it comes through the guise of the Knight of Swords though, you will have to move on this very quickly. And because it comes through the Tower, it's double fast. You're not going to have the moment to sit on your laurels and kind of say, oh yeah, that might work for me, it might not work for me. You don't have the luxury of time. You will have to decide there and then. I'll say this to you, it could be a nice little bit of extra money that kind of pops up and shows up out of nowhere, but it requires you to move quick. Your third week of the month, you got the Moon card, right? So this is interesting because it does tell me that you're putting up a really good front. And I don't mean that. It just feels like your mind is really crammed full of everything, of everything that you could think of. It's all running through the mind and you're trying to process everything at lightning speed. And it could be that in the end you're kind of like, oh, do you know what, I'm exhausted, just give me an hour to rest, all right? Leave me alone, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to speak to anyone. Cancerian male or a Piscean male, very likely to be one of those. because the moon card is Pisces, right? And the thing about this moon card as well that really becomes evident for me is because it comes in your communications, you could literally be fixing everything around you and inside be like, oh my gosh, I literally just want to go to sleep. So this is going to be a time where you really need to look after your sleep pattern, make sure you're getting plenty of rest, and also show up in any way that you can, absolutely, but be sure to divert a small portion of that care and attention that you're giving out a lot of this week, this particular week as well. Just be sure to make sure that you're looking after yourself in some way, shape or form. All right. And then finally, your 4th week of the month, just before we step into the new year, you've got the Death card. So an ending, a grand completion comes in. And here, at this moment in time, I will say to you, this 4th week is where you close down the year, where you close down the month, where you close down the decade. You have this right underneath the Chariot card, which means everything will wrap up for you in a completely satisfactory manner. Everything will move forward for you and in you actually in a really great way. And it does suggest that whatever is coming up for you in the last month of the year, it really does suggest that you'll be able to let it go. There's a lot of things that are kind of coming to completion here for you. You've got the Moon card, things coming full cycle. You've got the Death card, those things being eliminated and squashed, as it were. All right, so let's have a look at your key to the year. What is your key to the year for 2019, for December 2019? And it is the Fool card, right? This is the month where everything that ends, whatever it is that leaves, whoever it is that goes, wherever it is that you find yourself, it's the right place for you to be. It's the right energy for you to be cultivating. It's the right energy that you're putting out there, because the Fool card is the grand beginning. It's the brand new insight that comes through for you. And because you have the Tower card there as well, both very Aquarius / Uranus sort of energies, it basically says that the spontaneous synchronicities that come in now will definitely be ones that are worth following and pursuing. So I just want to say, whatever your astrology, whatever your cards, always know and trust and believe in yourself that you can change, create and do everything that you put your mind to. I wish you, whatever you celebrate, Christmas, Hanukkah, and all the other Kwanzaa, I think it is, whatever it is that you celebrate, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have a fantastic year ahead. Have an awesome December. Again, a big heartfelt thank you to all of you for being a big part of my 2019 and my life from here on in. I'm super grateful. I love you all. Take care and I'll see you soon.